It is 14 minutes to 7 o'clock, time for us to get a little history. And, of course, we do that with History Out There and Harold Peacock. Good morning, mate.
Oh, yes, good morning, Damo. Your school lunches, you make me hungry about those coffee buns and cream buns.
Oh, I tell you what, there were some great ones. And even some of the drinks. What about Mr. Juicy? Do you remember that, the orange juice?
Oh, yeah, but you still can't go past those little bottles of milk at little lunchtime that were left in the sun, and they were a little bit hot, but, gee, they were still nice to have.
And then there was the old Sunny Boys. Remember them, the triangular things?
Oh, the triangular ones? Oh, yeah, they were like 2 cents or something. They were a special treat too. I had to save up, keep some change in my pocket from previous weeks to get one of them.
And then, of course, who could ever forget the space food sticks?
Oh, I can forget them. I don't remember them.
Oh, no, they were chocolatey goodness as well, and they only cost about 6 cents back in the 70s.
Oh, actually, now I think, yes, you take me back, and so let's talk about history. I'm right back there now.
Yeah, I think we should. But we're going to go back even further, 102 years ago, when driver's licences were first brought in.
Yeah, that's right. They were first brought in. There were some new laws. People weren't used to them. But let me say, Toowoomba beat Brisbane, having Queensland's first ever driver's licence prosecution. And that's what I'll tell you about today.
All right, look forward to the story. Over to you, mate.
Yeah, look, the history of driver's licences might sound nerdy, but in Queensland it's actually quite interesting because at first there was no licensing. Then cars were registered, the drivers were registered, and then in January 1923 we got a system that we have today with the introduction of the driver's licence for a motor vehicle. Now, these licences didn't have photographs like they do today. Like I'm sure you and I both had the same licence because they required a physical description of the driver, such as a height, age, complexion, eye and hair colour, and the licence was valid for just 12 months. So that was the very first driver's licence. And when they were introduced, it took just days before Toowoomba had the honour of getting the first prosecution under the Queensland new driver's licence laws.
Oh, what happened?
Yeah, well, Brisbane tried to claim it. They had a prosecution on the 23rd of January that year against a man who was found driving a motor car without a driver's licence.
Right.
The fine being 10 shillings with 3 shillings 6pence court costs. Now, Brisbane, of course, claimed that, but we all know it was always and so often trumped by Toowoomba, and in this case by 11 days. Because on Thursday, the 12th of January, 1923, the first prosecution was quietly processed in the Toowoomba Police Court. Now, it was 21-year-old Roland Richard Carey of Stewart Street, Toowoomba. Now, he was fined 5 shillings with 3 shillings 6pence costs for driving a motorcycle without a driver's licence. Thus, Toowoomba beat Brisbane by nearly a fortnight.
Of course.
Yes, as always. But what's more, our Roland Carey, he went on to become one of the most troubled Queensland drivers in those early days. And you've got to wonder why he actually had a licence at all.
Right.
You see, Carey's woes began shortly after his historic driver's licence conviction, but at first it didn't involve driving. He was working as a machinist when he suffered a compound fracture and lacerated wounds to the ring finger of his left hand. When it was caught in a sandpaper machine. Now, the ambulance attended and his finger was saved. Thank goodness.
Yes.
Because once his ring finger mended, he then got married to the organist of the Methodist Church. And it was after that, which it appears Carey was driven to the brink.
Oh, my God.
You see, in 1934, Carey was fined £4 for travelling over the speed limit, which was around 30 to 32 kilometres an hour, down at Margaret Street.
Right.
That's under 50 kilometres per hour, so it's not much different now.
Yep.
In 1935, he was fined 5 shillings with 6 shillings costs for failing to have stuck on his car the registration label. In 1937, Carey was driving a meat van for his employer, the butchers S. Watson and Sons. The van was a Chevrolet one-ton truck with S. Watson and Sons painted down the side. You can see it now driving through town.
Yeah.
And on this case, it was fully laden with 12 cubic weight or 610 kilograms of meat from the firm's slaughter yards.
Oh.
Now, also approaching the intersection of West and Hill Streets at the time was a 14 horsepower 1937 model Vauxhall car.
Right.
So anyone that knows cars can see that. I'll post pictures of this, by the way.
Yep.
And the car was driven by William Cossett, who was a nurse at the Willowburn Mental Hospital. Now, the two vehicles collided. Now, Roland's van ran off the road, narrowly missed a tree, hit a fence, and knocked out one of the panels.
Right.
Meat was spilled all over the road. And the front part of his van was so seriously buckled that today it'd be a write-off. But, of course, back in the old days, we fixed everything, but not so today. Now, the crash wasn't the end of it. You see, the following year, the mental health nurse sued Carey, and more specifically employers, claimed that Carey drove the Chevrolet van so negligently and unskillfully that he actually caused the accident.
Right.
Now, the judge agreed, and judgment was given against Roland for damages, and together with court costs, it totalled more than £52.
Wow.
So even just adding up these few incidences, Carey's driving had cost around $30,000 in today's money. And look, his driving woes continued. In 1954, even his son George and his wife Nellie were taken to hospital after the car that they were driving overturned on the corner of Rutherford and Margaret Streets in the city centre. And finally, in 1965, by then Carey was aged 64 years old, so he's getting to retirement age. He was fined for failing to give right away.
Oh.
So Queensland's first person to be prosecuted for not having a driver's licence, he battled the driving laws to the bitter end.
There you go. Roland, you should have given up your licence, mate.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm happy to say, when he passed away, aged 86, it was not from a traffic accident. I'm happy to say it was from natural causes.
Well, he had his fair share during his life, didn't he?
Yeah, that's right. But I think he does hold an historic place in Queensland law history. And where, look, his ashes are in Brisbane and Penaroo Lawn Cemetery, and there's nothing to say that what an historic place he holds in the Queensland legal history. There should be a plaque up there, or at least the body of a crashed car or something there to mark his last resting place.
Yeah, or maybe where he crashed through the fence. And tell you what, you wouldn't want to lose all of that meat these days. The cost of meat too.
Oh, look, there'd be crowds of people running around helping him clean up the road anyway.
Now, mate, you'll be posting this story up?
Yeah, that's right. On Friday mornings, I post the stories on my website, historyouthere.com.
There you go. Historyouthere.com is where you can find it. Now, mate, you'll be having a week off next week?
Yeah, that's right. Unfortunately, I'm flying south, but I'm looking for more history down there with a connection to the Darling Downs. So hopefully I'll come back with something good for you.
All right, mate. You have a good couple of weeks, and we'll look forward to talking to you soon and get some more history.
See you then.